Okay, so hey guys and welcome back to another predictions video. And in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena rematch. If you are new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So going into this fight, Nunes is 21-5 with 13 KOs and 4 submissions, and Pena is 12-4 with 3 KOs and 6 submissions. This fight is for the women's bantamweight belt, in which Pena currently holds. Both of their last fight was the first fight against each other, if that makes sense, with Pena winning via submission in round 2, which was one of the biggest ever upsets in women's MMA, and even in the UFC in general. Nobody expected Pena to be able to get the win, but she did, and now we're here for the rematch just because Nunes has been so dominant. It was fair that she just got a straight away rematch. This is Nunes' 11th title fight, and this is only Pena's second. Pena's only notable defeat came against Shevchenko, and Nunes has beaten some of the best female UFC fighters around that have been around, the likes of Home, Cyborg, Shevchenko twice, Rousey and Tate, which are just some of the best women's UFC fighters. Nunes is known for her powerful striking, probably being the most powerful striker in women's UFC, and Pena's best attribute is her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which did help her get the win versus Nunes in the first fight. Also on this card is Ankalaev versus Smith, which seemingly is to be the number one contender fight after Blachowicz and Prochazka fight. So for the light heavyweight division, I mean, it seems like Prochazka might possibly be rematching Teixeira, which, I mean, it'll be interesting if that does actually happen or not, but it might happen. But if that happens, then it'll then go to Blachowicz, and then it'll probably go to the winner of Ankalaev versus Smith, which probably will be a little while if he does fight Teixeira again. But it's still a big fight nonetheless, and there probably will be a fight for Ankalaev and Smith in between if that does happen. But yeah, there's still a big fight, and Ankalaev is looking like he may be champion one day, or at least be a very high contender, because he's looking very dominant and very impressive. And I think his dominance will continue, and I think he'll win via KO in round 2 versus Smith, which is seemingly what most people are saying. I believe he's the favourite, and I just don't think Smith will be able to beat him, if I'm being honest. These Russians and Kazakhstan fighters are just looking crazy at the moment, and slowly taking over, well, not slowly, actually relatively quickly taking over the UFC. And I think Ankalaev will keep his run going. But moving back onto the Nunes fight, Nunes is the favourite for this fight, which is obviously rare for the non-champion to be the favourite in a championship fight. But it's just because of how surprising the Pena win was that everybody's just said that Nunes will be able to just win this one, as she had like an off day. In the end, I think that Nunes will win via TKO in round 4. Why? Because in that first fight, in the first round, you could see Pena getting caught, and it was impressive from Nunes in the first round. Obviously, in the second round, Pena was a lot more dominant, but I don't see Nunes letting Pena do that to her again, and I believe she'll be able to assert her dominance more and just keep going, basically. And I don't think Pena's got the experience to really keep a title defense going. So I do think TK in round 4, but in later rounds, just on the fact of, I feel like Nunes might have a little bit more respect for Pena now, so she might not go flying in trying to get a really early knockout, and it probably will come a little bit later via TK. But yes, if she does win that, I think she'll either have a third fight versus Pena, which might happen depending how close this one is. Say Nunes wins this one via split decision or a close unanimous decision, or by like a shock injury or something like that, I think they will probably do a third fight. I don't know if it'll be right after this fight, but it might be. And if it's relatively convincing by Nunes, they might do a third fight, but just a bit later on down the line. And I think the next fight, which won't be between either of these for Nunes if she does win, will be against Vieira, just because she's seemingly to be the next contender for Nunes or Pena in that women's bantamweight division. But yeah, that is it for today's video. We've got a couple more predictions this week, and which is still another prediction, still being my championship prediction. So that will be a bit later on this week. We've also got Kai Kara France versus Brandon Moreno, and if the fight does go ahead, don't know if it's going to be happening. The Gibb versus McBroom fight, it seems like something might be going wrong with that. But if even if the card still goes ahead, I'll still talk about it, even if it isn't Gibb versus McBroom. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you didn't like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.